This is IMF TV. My name is Mavis Baminta. I have been your host on IMF TV, and I thank you for staying with us in 2019, and I want to encourage and welcome you back to 2020 so that you stay with us with our life-changing messages that's going to bring us back to Christ. I pray that it will be a blessing to you. I also want to encourage you to subscribe and like our pages on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and God is going to bless you abundantly. When you get our videos, please share with your family and friends.
Welcome, my friends. Now listen and listen very well. IMF TV is very concerned about you because you belong to the kingdom ministry of God. You are God's special creation and you are God's creature. Now listen, we want to encourage you in 2020. It's going to be a moment of freedom in Christ. It's going to be a moment of the freedom of the mind and freedom of your life. As you journey with us in 2020, we want to say to you, be assured that Christ is yours. Christ is going to lead you. Christ is going to help you get along that way. Thank you so much for being with us. Again, we want to say welcome and God bless you in 2020.
So, IMF TV,
touching lives where necessary.
Welcome, viewers, once again to IMF TV, touching lives where necessary. I believe you had a wonderful Christmas and you had a wonderful time with the family too. Today we are talking about a very interesting subject that affects us. Either we are in it, we plan to be in it, or it affects us in so many ways. We have a wonderful man of God today who is well versed in this subject to help us understand more about this subject. Today we are talking on the subject of marriage. Yes, marriage is a very big subject and it's something we all talk about. We want to understand more. And today we have the right man of God here to help us understand more. So don't go away, stay with us. And we are going to have you understand a lot, if not all at least. So I believe you'll be blessed by the end of this program. So I'm going to have the man of God introduce himself to us. And then we go into the discussion. Don't leave us, stay with us, and there's more for you today. So, welcome, Papa.
Thank you.
Once again to IMF TV.
Thank you.
We are so glad you agreed to speak to us today. This is a subject we all think about. We are in it. Either planning to be in it or we are affected by it because we all came from it. So I want you to introduce yourself to our viewers today and then we will take it from there.
Thank you very much. I'm Reuben Owusu Asenso. Affectionately, people call me Arrow and I prefer to be called Arrow Asenso, and that is how people know me. A minister of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, now stationed at Columbus, Ohio, the district minister for Ohio and Illinois district, a very big district, having 8 congregations in 6 states in America. And I want to say Merry Christmas to you and to everyone that is part of this particular family of Presbyterian Church, and to every Christian. I'm very happy to be on this program, and I believe that the topic that is to be discussed, by the end we finish with it. God himself will show us a way as to how to go about our marriages, those of us that are in it and those that are yet to come into marriage. Thank you very much for bringing me in.
We thank you. We appreciate you for honoring our invitation. So, Papa, can you tell us a little about marriage? When we hear about marriage, people are running into it. People so desire to go into it. What is it about?
Really, marriage is a very big institution. But it's a big institution that was instituted by God himself in the Garden of Eden. At the time of creation, God created man first.
Yes.
And God said that he thinks that man cannot stay alone. And therefore he created somebody as a partner for man, to be his helpmate.
Yes.
So generally, marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman. Man and woman. Now, if you should go through going through a traditional kind of marriage, making sure that the marriage is really, quote unquote, being seen by God. God himself is in the marriage, and that is what we call marriage.
Thank you very much. So, now we understand what marriage is. It's a union between two people
Yes.
who have sent it to God, and God has approved
Yes.
of it. So, do you think everybody have a particular mate? God made a particular mate for everybody to be married to.
I would say yes and no. Yes, in the sense that if you should read Genesis chapter 2 and verse 20, Genesis chapter 2 verse 24. For this reason, man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh.
Okay.
So with this one, God intends that man should marry a woman.
Yes.
But then, what kind of man and what kind of woman?
Okay.
God didn't tell us that this particular man A should marry woman B.
Okay.
But then man should marry a woman. So it behoves on those two people who are marrying to seek the face of God in the marriage. And God will tell them, or by the union, they really see that there's really the hand of God in the marriage. And that makes it that God has really brought them together.
Okay.
Right.
But I mean, when we were growing up, there were some times people would be like, "Oh, I had a dream, and this is the person I have to get married to." Sometimes they have nothing in common. You really think it's just not good, right? Because nothing in common really, but they still insist that they had a dream, and this is the person they've seen in their dream. So God wants them to get married to these people. What would you say to that?
Really so. We need to pray.
Okay.
We need to wait on the Lord. Now, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says that there's time for everything. And therefore, once there's time for everything, you need to wait. There's time for marriage. There's time for even rains to fall. There's time for the soil to get wet and to get dry.
Okay.
And therefore, there's time for everything. But then sometimes we rush, and by our own intuition and by the way we are emotioned, we think that is the way God wants us to go. But sometimes it's not like that. Of course, you can pray, and then by the action and by the behavior and by the way the relationship goes, you will say that yes, that is the right person. But somebody can dream without even praying.
Okay.
And they say that I've dreamt about a particular person, and I think that is what God is telling me. Waiting on the Lord is seeking the face of God. I think Christian, when we say you're seeking the face of God, means that you sit down, you wait, you seek counsel.
Okay.
You seek counsel from people of God. You seek counsel from God. You read the Bible and let the Bible direct you, and let God also direct you. That is seeking the face of God. Sometimes you pray and you fast on all these things, and then out of that, God really directs you to who should be your partner. But like I said, sometimes our emotions drive us. And as the emotions drive us, we would say that, yes, I've dreamt about somebody. Now, there's a saying in our local parlance that as soon as one so sometimes people do not want to enter into marriage with love. They want to enter into marriage with lust.
Okay.
And that lust will lead them to dreaming about people. And therefore they will say that once I've dreamt about that particular person seems to be my partner. In the long run, when they get into the marriage, then things change, and they will regret making that choices.
Okay, thank you very much. So, with that being said, so you have to be careful and seek the face of God, and
Right.
then when you think God has really talked, then you can go ahead with the marriage. But what are some of the preparations? Is it just, oh, I've seen this person, I want to get married to them, and so you just go ahead and go into it? Is there some preparation that has to happen before?
There's a preparation. Now, in my marriage counseling lessons, the first lesson that I take with my those people preparing for marriage is getting acquainted. Getting acquainted. You need to be acquainted with the person that you want to marry. Who is the person that I want to marry? How prepared am I as far as that person is concerned?
So getting acquainted is one way. Now, somebody may see somebody for 2 weeks and then they decide to marry.
Okay.
How acquainted are you? You need to go deep, delve deep into the person's, maybe his family, his relations, and those things. All those things count. In our African setting, we don't get into marriage just like that. Now you need to inform your parents. You need to inform your church. The church council will have to sit you down. Then you need to go through counseling, and then after the counseling sessions, they will maybe you need to go through some blood tests and all those things to see how compatible you are as far as these marriages are concerned before you get into it. So you need to take time to get into it. It's something. It's an institution that we do not have to rush into. It's an institution that we have to take our time because it's a long-term thing, sort of thing. You get into it, and you don't have to make your mind that at a particular point I'll back out. Marriage is not entering and backing out. That is why it needs those getting into that relationship to think through very well and prepare themselves very well. Okay. Now, normally, as a man, I don't think a man would want to marry a woman and take the lady to the family house. You need to get your own apartment. Be prepared in mind that you are going to be responsible not only to yourself, but to somebody else. The lady will also have to prepare the mind that is not going to be responsible only to herself, but to somebody else. And with that mindset, then you get into it. So preparations are in that form. Okay. Right.
Thank you very much. So when you were talking, you said you have to go check the background of the person, you have to do this and that. But I thought they said love conquers all. So if you love somebody, do you have to really dig into their lives to determine if you want to stay with them the rest of your life?
Yeah. Let me tell you a story about Isaac getting married in the Bible.
Okay.
When Isaac was about to marry, Abraham was the father. He sent somebody to the land,
family, yeah.
to the family, and then to seek the face of Rebecca's family. And then there were certain things that were put in place. The lady served the servants of Abraham, and then the lady took them home, and then, by the way, Abraham, the lady and the family received the servants of Abraham. It made that man know that is the lady that the Lord has prepared for them. Okay. So they took Rebecca to Isaac in marriage. Yeah. That is about one example in the Bible. So you really need to see whether that particular person is your partner before you get into it. Yes. I don't know if I've answered your question well.
No, it's okay, but I just was wondering, if you love somebody, you love them regardless of anything that's happening
yes,
to them.
Love conquers everything. Love conquers everything. That's why I said lust and love is different. Lust is different from love. Love comes first. But then, you see, if you say you want to marry a particular person, then the underlying thing is what? Love. Okay. A man should love the lady, the wife. Now, let me read something to you from the Bible. When God sent Eve to Adam, what did he say? This is a bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. Yes. And he said, this is what will be called what? The woman, because she was created out of me. He loved that particular person. He loved that lady. Some amount of love came in him. And he said, this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. And this person is going to be called what? Woman. So love comes first. But in love, you need to seek the face of God again. You see, some people take lust as love. Some people take lust as love, and that is very dangerous. By just their first appearance, he says, "I love you." But love, Genesis, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 following, love transcends everything. Love goes beyond bounds. Love is everything. Love does not take cognizance of wrongs. So if you are prepared for those things in marriage, then it means that you love that particular person. So the love is there. But even with the love, because it's a relationship between two people of different backgrounds, then it means that that kind of relation must delve deep into the background a bit, so that you know how you could relate very well with that particular person.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That helps.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Right.
So, are there some obligations that marriage partners have for each other? Because you just said you go love people,
Yes.
you check their background. Now you decided to get married.
Yes.
It's done. Then what? Do we have some obligations?
Yes. Now let me read Genesis chapter 5. Genesis chapter 5, verse 1 and 2 to you. That tells us how unique each and every one of us is. This is the written account of Adam's line. When God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. He created them male and female and blessed them. And when they were created, he called them man. So that word man there is what? A universal kind of word.
Yeah.
But then before that word man is used, he said he created them man and woman. So they are unique. In fact, God doesn't want us to call you man. And God doesn't want you to call me woman. Because of my uniqueness.
Yes.
Because the features that I have. So that means that the two people that are married are so distinct. And each has a role to play.
Okay.
And therefore, it means that you have responsibility towards each other. In marriage, when you get into marriage, you go to complement the efforts of the other person that you are marrying. So as I marry you as a lady, you come into my house to complement what I'm be doing. Hitherto, as a man, I may be washing my clothes, I may be cooking myself, I may be doing certain things, cleaning my house, but when a lady comes in, she takes up some of those responsibilities in the house. And then when I also come into your life, I also take up some of the responsibilities that you were hitherto taking. And that makes marriage, that kind of partnership seem to be what? Each one playing a role.
Yeah.
Right. And then again, Paul tells us in Ephesians that a woman is to submit and a man is to love.
That was going to be my next question.
Yes. A woman is to submit and a man is to love. But I take it that a woman is to submit and love, and a man is to submit and love. So in both cases, love is paramount. In your submission, you submit in love.
Yes.
And then, as you also show love towards your wife, you also exhibit some amount of submission to your wife. Because you complement each other.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you believe if there's no love, there can be submission? Because from what you said, it's hand go, hand come.
Yes.
Yeah.
If there's no love, I don't think the woman is just there to submit.
Okay.
The woman is not just there to submit. She's there to love. Because love is the fundamental
Of all that.
for. Love is the foundation. With love, everything moves. So without love, that kind of submission wouldn't come. If I don't love you, how would I submit to you? If I don't love you, that you somebody who will be able to provide, somebody who cares for me, that kind of thing, how would I submit to you? So the love must be the basis before the submission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Viewers, I believe you are enjoying this discussion as I am. Obviously, you can see I'm really deep into it, listening. And we want to take a quick break, and we'll be right with you. Stay with us. Don't leave us. We'll be right with you with more on this. Thank you.
Hello, my dear friends. This is IMAVE TV. Indeed, we are touching lives. I encourage you to keep on watching IMAVE TV, and I can assure you that your life will not be the same. IMAVE TV, touching lives where necessary.
Welcome back, viewers, once again. And as we continue with the discussion, so we'll go straight to it. So, Papa, should a believer marry a non-believer? Do you think it's advisable? Because of love. Because we say it's all based on love.
Yes.
So if you see somebody who don't believe, not in the same faith as you, and you love them, can you just go ahead and do it? Is it advisable?
Really, I see nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
Even the Bible tells us something of that nature. Let us look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 12. To the rest I say this, I not the Lord. If any brother has a wife who is not a believer, and she is willing to live with him, he must not divorce her. And if a woman has a husband who is not a believer and is willing to live with her, she must not divorce her. For the unbelieving husband has been sanctified through his wife, and the unbelieving wife has been sanctified through her believing husband. Otherwise, your children will be unclean. But as it is, they are holy. So from this injunction, it means that the two can marry. But then sometimes, just as Paul is saying this, the unbelieving husband can also pull what? The believing wife. And then the unbelieving wife can also pull the believing husband. It is there. But we are on the positive, where the believing husband can pull the unbelieving wife because of his sanctification, as Paul said. So to answer the question, yes, the two can marry because the basis is love.
Okay.
The basis is love. I have some people that are married. Some of them do not belong to the same kind of religious faith, but they are living all right. They are living all right. The fundamental issue in this is love. Love. But then, that is, I sounded the caution initially, that you make sure that the unbelieving does not pull the believing. That will be dangerous for us. Otherwise, the children will be led astray. They will suffer. Yes. So that's about it.
So what would be your sincere advice to people? Do you think it's just okay to go ahead and marry if sake of love, or you think it's better just to all be in the faith? So that
right. It's in the package of delving deep of your married partner, delving deep into the affairs of your married partner. It's in that package. It's in the package of preparation. Because before you get into marriage, know the background of that particular person. Even though love is there, know about the background of that particular person. Just as I've already said about the believer and the unbeliever. Now, how do you know that when I get into this relationship, my unbelieving husband will not pull me to his side, so that eventually I may stop going to church, I may not practice my religious faith and that kind of thing. So that is also there. So you must go into this in your preparation before you get into the marriage. Even though the love is there, you must get into. Well, you see, we say love. Yes, love is the fundamental. Okay. But with this thing, you must also get into some other thing before really get patched up. The love is there. And then I said that sometimes if you don't take care, that love will turn into lust. And it wouldn't help anyway. So they can marry, but then you need to be cautious. Yes.
So technically you have to count the cost.
Count the cost, right?
To see if it's worth it.
It's worth it, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So viewers, you heard that. You have to count the cost. If it's worth it, go for it. If it's not worth it, don't do it. Because we've seen so many happening, and
Right.
you don't want to be a statistic. So, Papa, I'll go on to ask: should people, lovers who plan to marry or who already are married, should they disclose their secrets, their past life, things that happened to them? Is it better to make your partner know all about your life?
There's something that I call in marriage counseling as alien partners. That people whom you've related with before. They are people that can mar your marriage. But then I believe that married partners should be able to tell their partners their past. It is good to tell them your past. See, I initially said my first lesson that I usually give in marriage counseling is knowing yourself adequately. And it is at this particular moment that you tell your partner your past life, how you've lived your life. Now, when I say past life, I'm not talking of only relationships. Anything. The schools you attended, your grades somehow, the games you like, the people you played with, the life of your family, how your family conduct themselves, that the extended family I'm talking about. So all these things will have to come in. You must tell them. And then your past life, how you've lived your life. Be able to tell your partner. Because if you don't tell him, it is dangerous. It will be dangerous. When later on the partner comes to know it, it will be very dangerous for you. I have an example of people that are in relationship, but then they didn't tell each other. Then later on, the lady realized that the man has some children somewhere.
Oh. He never mentioned it.
Yeah, he never mentioned it to the wife. So the wife thought that the children have come out of what? Wedlock.
Yeah.
But not knowing that these children were born before even the marriage. So you must be able to tell your partner your past life, I believe. And that solves about 80% of the problems and conflicts in marriage.
You know, some people have very dark past life, dark secrets, things they are not proud of, things they wish nobody knew.
Now, if those are there, you see, in fact, we have family secrets. Mm-hmm. I am married. There are secrets that are in my family, that are known by my family, and my spouse will never get to know. And I don't care to know. I don't care to know hers too. But those that concerns me, that can either mar my marriage or make my marriage happier, I would tell her. I will tell her.
Okay.
Yes. But those if you think, you see, if you think that this thing that I'm going to tell my spouse will not augur well for our marriage, don't say it. Even though it may be your past life, don't say it. You know, what I normally do with my marriage is that when I see that the conditions surrounding the situation at that particular moment is conducive for me to tell, then I do. If it's not conducive, I wouldn't do.
Okay. So what if the person finds out? Because this world is very small, you know.
Yes.
And the people we revolve around, it's kind of, I just told you I knew you, but you probably didn't know I knew you,
Yes.
you know. So stuff like that happens around here and in life.
Yeah.
So maybe you say, no, this one I don't want to tell her. And they find out that, hey, this and that was the person has done in this time of their life. And they never told you. Probably would have made you know the person better by knowing their past, you know. And you find out because they decided that if they tell that is going to affect your relationship, so they decided not to tell you. And now you find out, how do you deal with that?
How do you deal with it? That's why I said that to me, it will be better to tell. It will be better to tell.
And for them to
Yes,
find out.
for them to find out, than for them to find out. I give an example. I can give you another example. Here's a couple that are counseled to marry. One was living in the United States, one was in Ghana. So I did a counseling for the one in Ghana, and then the lady was in America. When the lady came for the marriage rights, then we joined them together in the counseling session. Then the lady told the man that she was a student here, doing biological science in the United States. Therefore, the man said, okay, to make marriage a happy home, then let me go and secure admission for you, one of the universities in Ghana. So the man did all that, sought admission for the lady. Then lo and behold, the lady was not doing any university education here. The man found out finally that the lady she was just here working.
So she lied.
She lied. And that brought the end of the marriage. If the lady had been truthful to the man would have had something else doing for her. So it's better you tell. It's better you tell than to let the person find out. If he finds out, it's sometimes so dangerous. Yeah. It will take a man of God and the message of God to get you patched up again. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, with this being said, with that being said, how do you resolve conflict in marriage and relationship?
Now, before then, let me tell you about how conflicts come about. Now, conflicts come about in marriage as a result of lack of communication, lack of trust, and lack of love. When these things crop up, then leads to conflict. And you know, Satan his plan in marriage is to what? To get conflicts in marriage. That's his plan. To ruin marriages. The Bible tells us in John 8:44 and John 10:10. John 10:10 tells us the devil comes to what? To steal. But then Jesus Christ came, but that we have life. But in John 8:44, he said Satan is the father of lies. So when we are not truthful to ourselves, then we are serving Satan. When you tell lies to your husband or your wife, that means you are going to serve your master, that is Satan, because he's the father of lies. And that he prays, Satan prays that such a thing should happen. But then God's plan for marriage is that we should love ourselves unconditionally. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 13:5. And then we must have what? A time to teach ourselves and then to listen to ourselves. That is God's plan for marriage. Okay. So if we are married, if our marriage is on the love that God talks about, then we're going to plan our life, our marriage in the plan of God. Yep. So when conflict sets in, and you realize yes, really conflict has set in, then you must seek the face of God in the settlement of conflicts. But the key thing that I've always been telling my people that are into marriage is to learn to forgive and to forget. To forgive and to forget.
Is that possible? Is it possible to really forget?
Yes.
Something that happened to you?
Yes. You see, if you should forget about it, that means you will never go back to it.
Okay.
It may be at the back of your mind.
Okay.
But you will never revisit it. You will never go back. You never use it as an example in anything. You have forgiven the person. You never talk about it. That is the forget about it. Okay. Those things will never come in again. Because I read to you something from Genesis chapter 2 verse 24.
Yes.
Where God said the two will come together. That coming together is that coming together It means that you need to learn to forget and what? Forgive yourselves. You need to compromise on issues. You need to leave behind those issues that were there, that you liked most. Because of marriage, you have to what? Leave certain things there because you are now in a new union. So when those things come in, and you need to resolve such issues, I think the best thing is to forgive each other. And then you forget about it, and it will help you. That has been my key word all the time.
Forgiveness.
Yes, forgiveness. Forgiveness. Because when we are praying, we tell God that God forgive us our wrongs or trespasses as we forgive those who wrong us or who trespass against us. So if you don't forgive your wife, if you don't forgive your husband for a wrongdoing, how do you expect God to forgive you? So that is the key. Because when God forgives you, then God has pardoned you of the sins you've committed against Him, and that God has paved the way for you to reconcile back to Him. But you haven't done yours. You haven't forgiven your wife. And you go to church and pray and ask God that God forgive me my wrongs as I have forgiven. Pray that God forgive me my wrongs as I have forgiven my wife or as I have forgiven my husband. If you don't pray that prayer, don't say the first part of the prayer.
That's going to be hard, right?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. But in our language, like you said, there's something that says that if they do it to you and it doesn't pain you, they don't stop doing it to you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you keep forgiving. How long do you have to forgive? And some of the sins have magnitude, like I know it's 77 times 7. I know that's what you're going to open. But like it's a relation. I always ask, it's a relationship. You two decided to come together, right?
Yeah.
And you are here. Why would you keep causing this person pain, hoping they will forgive? Because the Bible says to forgive. I mean, at that point, is it a relationship anymore?
When it is unresolvable, the best thing to do is to seek the help or the face of God. Maybe in your marriage, there was a minister or a pastor came in before you got married, and you need to seek his face. Go to him, tell him your problem. You see, you need not be telling everybody about your problem, but I think a man of God is a trustworthy person. You go and tell him about it. Some. You go and tell him about it. And then that pastor, being so good, will call your partner, and then you sit you down. Then you find a way of resolving the issues. Resolving the issue.
Yeah.
Now the Bible even says if somebody wrongs you, tell him. If he doesn't agree, take him to another person. If he doesn't agree, take him to a council of church, of elders. If he doesn't agree, how do you tell him? You train him as what? Somebody of yes. So that's the limit you should go. And then you really quoted, you already said that 77. Are you going to mark on the wall the number of times that somebody has wronged you? You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. So resolve to forgive each other. Resolve to forgive each other. Let love, let the love you have, the bond of love, the love that bonds you, let it be so strong. If the love in the marriage is so strong, you will learn to forgive.
Yeah, I think
love
so.
Each other.
Yeah. Like you said, it's all about love. That's the basis. Without it, it's painful sometimes.
Yes.
Without it, there's some things you just can't resolve, like Papa rightly said. But if you have love and God on your side, everything should work well for you.
Right.
So, Papa, with that being said, when it gets worse, and there's no way around it, what next?
My first advice is separation. Whoever counsels you could ask you to separate yourselves. That means it's not divorce. Separation is not divorce. You separate yourself for a while. each goes to refresh and rethink about the marriage, rethink about himself, and then maybe after a particular time you can come together. But sometimes it's dangerous. Yes, dangerous. Somebody at the time of separation think that is divorce, and then he goes in for other people. That is very dangerous. But if you really love yourself, you know the institution of marriage, and that God is in the marriage, and a conflict is unresolvable. The best thing is to separate for a while. You separate for a while, and then after that separation, maybe you come together upon patching up. Even in our church, we have a liturgy, something that we have to do for you to bring you together again, and then maybe you can live happily again.
Like
yes, reunion, coming together again. Yes, we do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Right.
Viewers, I believe you are learning a lot. You have learned a lot. And this is a lot of wisdom right there for us. And we are going to be blessed from this. So, Papa, before we let you go, can you tell our viewers your last words about this whole marriage thing?
Yeah. Just as I said from the beginning, marriage is an institution by God. And God wants marriage to be as holy as possible. God wants the sanctity of marriage. And therefore, we do not have to rush into marriage. My advice to the youth is that to wait for the Lord's intervention. Wait for God's intervention in your marriage. Don't rush into marriage. Don't just see a person in a day and say, I'm going to marry such a person. Get to know the background a little. And then study the person for it. That's why we have the courtship. Courtship is a relationship. It's not kind of that deep kind of relationship. Courtship is a time of what? Knowing yourselves. Getting to know yourself. That's what I said from the beginning, the adequately knowing yourselves. And I think if we should be doing that, we're going to have a happy marriage. And the Lord is going to bless us.
Amen. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Viewers, I have learned a lot, and I believe you have too. Like Papa said, abuse is not okay. If it's getting too much, separate. Seek for counsel. Talk to your church. Talk to your elders. Talk to your pastors. Do not sit there and die because you have to be there. There are other ways to get solutions for problems in marriage. So seek for help, and it's going to be very useful for you now and forever. So God bless you once more. Remember, this is IMF TV. When we come your way, we want to bring hope to the hopeless and to let you live independently in Christ. I would like to use this opportunity to appreciate everybody who work with IMF TV on the back to make sure everything we do is a success. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate my husband who is behind the camera making all this happen, Mr. Evans Barminter, and everybody who in any way help IMF TV to be a success. We really appreciate you, and together we are evangelizing to the world like Christ told us to do. We should go and preach the word, and we are doing it. So God bless you. When you receive this message, share, suggest. If you think there's something we didn't say, write it down. We want to know. Share the video to people. People need it in time like this, and God will bless you. We will see you again same time. Don't leave us. We always have something good for you. God bless you once again, and bye-bye.